Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Bama Standard, the week of the Texas game. I'm your host, Justin Riley. And before we get rolling, what I need you to do right now is hit that like and subscribe button, turn on all notifications, jump in the chat. And if you're watching the replay, let us know how you feel in the comment section below. As always, we are brought to you by Workspace Solutions and Oakmont Financial Partners, LLC. Joining me for the fun tonight is former All-SEC linebacker. And when Ric Flair said to be the man, woo, you got to beat the man, he is that man, Mr. Marvin Constant, and the senior analyst of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, Stephen M. Smith. Roll Tide, fellas.
Roll Tide.
Let's go. This is Texas week, the week everybody talking about for right now. For right now.
Definitely one of the highest anticipated games of the offseason, Nick versus Sark. But before we get into all that, we're going to introduce a new segment. We're going to turn it over to Mr. Marvin Constant to talk about the sports betting. How did you do this past weekend, Marvin? And then also tell us, man, what we need to know about this coming weekend.
Virginia Tech scrutiny. That's how I did. Virginia Tech cost me thousands of dollars. Old Dominion. Really? Old Dominion.
I thought they just played basketball. How'd they do this in football?
I didn't even know they had a football team.
As Marvin is speaking, I would like to give out this information. I am working on the strongly worded email to Virginia Tech to send to them. So continue, Marvin, as I continue finish up this email.
Well, y'all seen all my other picks. I sent them to y'all. You see, I hit everything else, but these idiots. It's always one. It's always one. I'll tell you. Oh man, but everything else went pretty smooth, man. Penn State picked that one. Alabama picked that one. I don't even know who else is on that ticket. Stephen M. Smith.
Florida and Utah.
You had Florida.
Picked
you
Florida.
had Utah. You had Michigan State.
Picked it. Thank you. I picked everything right, but
Virginia Tech.
I'll never bet with them again. I started to bet with them anyway because last year they lost the game. I forget who they were playing. They were playing West Virginia. They should have beat West Virginia. They cost me a few $1,000s that time too. So I'm officially done betting with them. No more. Never again.
Okay.
So
going into this week, I'm taking Alabama in the 20. I would have to look at my sheet to see what else is out there. I've already put all my picks in for the week. I can't even remember what all I picked. I would have to look at it to see. But who plays this week besides Alabama?
Stephen M., who we got this week?
I think Ohio. I think Ohio State is this week. I think Clemson is this week.
I picked Ohio State. Who else?
I want to say Michigan's this week.
I didn't pick Michigan.
Let's see. I think Wisconsin is this week. I'm not.
Didn't touch them.
Yeah, I wouldn't have touched that game either. I wouldn't touch. USC is this week.
Didn't touch that one.
Okay. And I think, let's see here. I know there's a Big 12 school that no, it's not Texas Tech, but it's another Big 12 school. Oklahoma.
I picked Oklahoma.
Okay. I think those are all the ones I saw.
Okay. Next time I'll have to pull my sheet up and I'll show you what I actually took. I don't know if I can even pull my sheet up on this screen or not, but I think I picked 8 or 9 games this week. And I took the points on all the ones I picked, but I can't remember which all the ones I picked. But I would definitely take Alabama in the points. I would definitely take Georgia in the points. Definitely take Ohio State in the points. And there was a few smaller schools that were kind of in that I picked as well. So going into week 2, the biggest thing for me was looking at who did what versus who. Arkansas will be a solid betting favorite for me throughout this season. I like the way they went out and they handled business. South Carolina, and not so much. Depending upon who they're playing, I'll probably pick whoever South Carolina's playing this season. That Tennessee versus Pitt game.
That's a big one.
That's a sneaky good game. That's a sneaky good one.
Touch that game. because
Why?
Tennessee's on the rise, so is Pitt. You know, Pitt should have probably lost to West Virginia last week, but they found a way to pull it out. So I'm not touching that game either, man. I got to see more of a body of work from Tennessee before I put money on Tennessee. So I have to, man. So, but, you know, moving forward, there's a lot of teams I would definitely bet against. Virginia Tech, South Carolina. Definitely. Hey, man, it's nothing personal, man. Those are all safe bets, okay? So, you know, if you're looking for a good 3-team parlay, take whoever South Carolina's playing, take whoever Virginia Tech's playing, and probably let me see. Another overrated team this year is probably going to be Houston. You know, they had them rated high and they struggled. So I would probably take whoever Houston is playing as well, because I guarantee you they're going to give Houston way more points than they probably can cover.
Okay. Well, let's talk about, I know it's a little bit outside the Alabama realm, but, you know, since it's a hot topic, can we talk about the LSU players who are dropping out or seemingly departing from the team? We had some drama after this LSU loss by 1 point due to a blocked field goal. The ringleader in that was Kayshon Boutte. Apparently got into it with Brian Kelly in the locker room after the game. Chewed him out, cussed him out, said he was a fake Ed Ogeron. And the next thing we know, he and a few other players have wiped clean any hint of LSU from their Instagram and other social media profiles. Before we get into it about Alabama, quick thoughts, guys.
I'll say this. Go ahead.
Anytime you're playing for a coach who did not recruit you, that's always a tough sell. Been there, done that. It's not easy to play for somebody who didn't recruit you because they don't see the value in you. Their biggest thing is getting their guys in, getting their guys playing time, because they're trying to build a program to be successful 2 to 3 years down the road. And if you've already been there for a year or two, 9 times out of 10, you're not in there playing for success.
Okay.
And then along with that, I think Brian Kelly bit off way more than what he can chew. I know a lot of people look at, well, he was at Notre Dame. There's touchdown Jesus, Golden Dome. They care about more of the academics than football. I get that. But when you come down to LSU, where all the care is football, and you're expected to compete against the Nick Sabans, the Kirby Smarts of the world, the Jimbo Fishers of the world, and dominate, and you struggle against Florida State, Brian Kelly's like, man, I've really bit off more than I can chew. And on top of that, your best lineman, 5-star Mason Smith, a terribly torn ACL, he's out for the rest of the year.
Marcus Stanley, you really think South Carolina's going to bring it against Isn't Spencer Rattler their quarterback?
Yes.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
NIL-driven Spencer Rattler, who could not quite make it at Oklahoma.
You know,
good luck with that.
South Carolina has actually been receiving a lot of hype and build-up going into this year. I don't know if it's more so Spencer Rattler, to be honest with you. If it is, it's unwarranted, because I wasn't too terribly impressed with Mr. Rattler when he was with the Sooners. But a lot of people are predicting South Carolina to finish with 8 or 9, maybe 10 wins, and possibly upsetting a few people along the way. I don't see it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think they're going to be a good team. I think Frank Beamer is doing a tremendous job. I just don't think year 2 is going to be the year that they ascend.
Hey, man, the weatherman predict rain regularly and don't nothing fall from the sky.
Hey, I like Shane Beamer, but I see 7 wins, 7 at the most.
If anybody can turn South Carolina around, I think that he's the guy to do it. But, you know, time will tell. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into this past weekend's matchup. Alabama, Utah State, 55-0 in favor of the good guys. Already seen in the chat, Marvin, I'm going to let you start off. What did you think about the linebackers?
I'm not going to give much input on this game because it was against Utah. I could have took my homies out there and we could have did work against Utah, man. Talk to me in a few weeks after we've gotten some quality opponents under our belt. It's not hard to play against 2 and 3 stars when you have 4 and 5 stars across the board. You should win. You should go out and do amazing things. Right. It should look like you're the best team in the world. when you're playing against 2 and 3 stars like Utah State. Utah. But at the end of the day, I got to see you play some real opponents first before I can give you any type of validation, man. I'm not going to give you validation for beating Utah 55-0. Not happening.
Very well said. Stephen and Smith, I know you saw a lot. You had a bird's eye view. The linebackers, as far as their performance, of course, Utah State. That's a
you
given.
wear
We get it.
binoculars when you at the game, Stephen and Smith. You
actually do not wear them. I don't wear them. My partner actually wears them. I just wear these. But
you're going to burn a hole in the field if you put some binoculars on. Them thick glasses, that's sun reflection.
But
what I was going to say, Stephen, but I don't mean to interrupt. Of course, Will Anderson, Dallas Turner, they did their thing. They laid a couple of hits where I felt as soon as the impact happened, their souls left their body. And like you said in the post-game show the other night, you had to wait for the police to get there because you witnessed a murder. They were phenomenal. But one guy that really stood out to me.
I don't question those two fellas. I have no questions about those two. It's the other 9 you need to talk about.
We're going to get there. We're getting there.
Week in and week out. Now, the other 9, okay? I do this for you. The other 9, okay? 9. That's who you need to talk about.
Stephen, one of those other 9 is Jalen Moody. That's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
Great game. Prime for a phenomenal senior season. Couldn't ask for a better start. Go.
Couldn't ask for a better start, and he brought the thump. And the thump of Marvin saying, you got to stick your nose in there. Jalen Moody stuck his nose in there. Yes, Utah State, but stuck his nose in there, led the team with 7 tackles, had some really good moments in that game, hit the hole, burst through, made plays. I was pleased with Moody. That's one of the 9. I was pleased with Moody. The other guys, they're still trying to figure out, where they are. But I was pleased with Moody. I thought Chris Braswell.
What other guys are you referring to?
The other guys I'm referring to the corners. I'm talking
about linebacker play right now. What other guys are you referring to?
Other guys I'm referring to, definitely Henry To'o.
I seen him dive on the pile a few times. That was
I mean, he was out there. He was out there.
I seen him dive on the pile a few times. Okay, someone else has made a tackle, dive on the pile, and jump up. You celebrate diving on the pile?
You didn't wear confetti in, I guess.
Okay, so Moody.
Why is the middle linebacker not leading the team in tackles? That should be week in and week out.
It should
There's a deficiency somewhere, you say?
Deficiency.
Well, should the switch be made for Moody to be inside because he led the team in tackles?
Man, I take my 10-year-old nephew at this point.
Or Blackshire.
And he looked good. Now, Blackshire
really
got out there and looked good. He went out there and looked good. Now,
on Darius Robinson as well, I was really impressed with what he added. A lot of play in the second half, but he was very good.
I think the one guy defensively that, showed something more was Justin Aboigbe. And I've been kind of waiting on him. Like, he didn't have like 5 or 6 tackles, but he blew some run plays up. And I'm like, 92, it's about time we're seeing you blow some run plays up because he didn't do much of that at all last season. So, and then, 91 Otis showed some quickness. Now, Jaheim is going to get that conditioning down. He's going to get that conditioning down a bit better. But when he was out there for the plays that he was, we saw the quickness. We saw the little wiggle getting in there. So the reason why—
Hey, man, listen. You were being blocked by 2 and 3 stars. I don't— Talk to me in a month and tell me how good they look in a month. Right now, we just going to say they won. We're looking forward to Texas. Again, if you got 2 and 3 stars blocking, you ought to be annihilating them. That's no competition. It's like a big war with Wawa, man.
Okay. So let's switch this over to offense then.
Well, I wanted to point out on the defensive side before we leave this little tangent, there was something that stuck out to me, and it has to be mentioned, and that was Kyrie Jackson. The dude is a flat-out dog. This dude is possessed. He must have been beat up by his older brothers when he was growing up because he took out all his aggression and anger by taking an offensive player and throwing it into his teammate, the running back from Utah State. His name escapes me, to make the tackle.
When he was doing that, Justin, he was telling Nick Saban, stop capping with me. Let me start.
Okay, let's move to the offense before Marvin gets off this live and sets things on fire.
Yeah, so the standout.
Talk to me in a month after we played somebody.
Okay.
I don't want to hear how good we looked against Utah. It's not impressive to me, man. It's not impressive.
So let's get into offense. Number one, Trayshawn Holden.
Yeah.
Came out there.
Balled.
Big game from him. About time, too. 5 catches, 70 yards, had a touchdown. And the second touchdown where he broke the tackle, reminiscent of the Devontae Smith broken tackle touchdown 2017 against Mississippi State.
You cannot compare something that happened against Mississippi State to something that happened against Utah, man.
Here we go.
He's
not going to let you.
Look, I'm comparing the route, the catch, the broken tackle.
You're not going to compare being covered by a SEC corner to being covered by a corner from Utah. Come on, man.
I'm not comparing
corner.
Man. I'm comparing the
play.
On,
man. But the coverage is part of the success of the route. Is it not? Is the coverage not part of the success of the route?
The coverage is part of the success of the route, but you can't help but to say this is eerily similar to this.
Coach Moog says, Marvin, it ain't supposed to be impressive. We handle business.
Right. I'm not impressed. Talk to me in a month.
Listen,
that's what I'm
I get what you're saying. Where we played a high school.
I hate that the media does, and I would agree with Coach Saban on this. All this rah-rah after we go out and beat a Utah team. Come on, man. We did what we were supposed to do. So now let's not act like we went out and crushed the next greatest thing. We beat a Utah team that we should have decimated. We were favored by 40 points going into this game.
Okay. Then I will give you something we can talk about on the offensive side, and that was the play of the offensive line. Everything I've heard since Saturday night, line's got to get better. And the pass blocking, I give it about a B. The run blocking, not so much. You take away the long run by Bryce Young, you take away that long run by Jahmyr Gibbs. We were not opening up running lanes.
And it was against Utah. So
that is something to be concerned about. Other than J.C. Latham and Darian Dalcourt, I did not see a lot to be excited about.
Listen, man, I'll be honest with you. Georgia has a cakewalk schedule. They don't play any other ranked teams from what they did Saturday. I don't think they have maybe one other ranked team on the schedule. Well, now Florida for the duration of their season. That is a cakewalk. So we got to worry about what we got to worry about on our side. That being, we got problems that we know we have. And again, against Utah, you don't get to expose a lot of the chinks in your armor against a team like Utah, because with 2 and 3 stars, they're not going to expose your weaknesses. They're not. So now you got to go into a game against a team like Texas, and we don't know all the weaknesses yet, because again, we played Utah, so we don't know where we're deficient yet.
Steve, and would you go ahead and just jump on this situation on the offensive line? You do have a lot of people who are genuinely concerned, and based on some of the play I saw, Tyler Steen, he was up and down, just doesn't look like he's comfortable just yet. I think chalk that up to give him a few games to where he's comfortable and has that chemistry with his brothers. But he looked up and down, but the overall play of the line kind of left a little bit to be desired.
Against a 2 and 3 star defensive line.
Amen.
I look at this, man, as much as Coach Saban wants to give Kendall Randolph that respect because he's been in the program about, 5-6 years, you got to look at somebody else other than Kendall Randolph. Look, I go back to Lucian's comment. Tyler Booker needs to look. This is the backup right guard. A guy that, 5-star coming in here from IMG, learned a lot from guys like Evan Neal and J.C. Latham. Tyler Booker needs to look in there. Definitely want to see more from Emil Ekiyor, more from Javion Cohan. But J.C. Latham and Darian Dalcourt were the two consistent guys. J.C. Latham was killing his guy all night long on the right side. And thank goodness Darian Dalcourt did not mess up the snaps, because that was my one concern with him coming into the season. Because last year he was snapping the ball over Bryce Young's head. He was snapping the ball to the ground. He was snapping the ball too wide. This game against Utah State seemed to snap the ball perfectly every time. So thankfully, Dalcourt got that together. Dalcourt and Latham I have no problems with. Steen up and down a little bit. And then the offensive guards, left guard and right guard. We got to get some guys that's not going to let that pressure come through because Texas is going to have some guys that's going to bring some pressure through there.
Oh, they definitely do, especially the linebacker spot, which we will get to. I want to address Marcus Stanley. I have more questions about Miller being the backup. He doesn't have a lot of game experience, and we can't afford for anything to happen to Bryce Young. Listen, aside from that, that ill-advised interception, I thought that Jalen Milroe looked very well. He looked tremendously better, throwing the ball a little bit more better.
Bill O'Brien has some creativity for him.
Creativity, allowing him to utilize his talents and abilities. He just seemed more comfortable to me out there. Yes, it's Utah State, but I'm impressed with him so far.
I just want to see. I just want to see the timing of his throws.
How do you not see it, man? Come on, my God, you got them specs. You ought to see it.
Look. Like going back to the Christian Leary throw, the play design was perfect, and Christian Leary had his man beat by about 5 yards. If Milroe lets go of that ball split second sooner, that's a touchdown because Leary would have been gone. Milroe holds on to it, and then he throws it, and he doesn't get enough on it. The ball hangs in the air, and it's picked off. So getting that part cleaned.
Quick question: What was the score at halftime?
The score at halftime was 24-0, right? It was 24-0.
No, it was higher than that.
What was the score at halftime?
I know it was in the 30s. 30. I know it was in the 30s.
40s.
What was the score at halftime?
Fine, 42-0.
41.
Stephen was afraid of the point Marvin was going to make. 41-0, Marcus Stanley. Thank you, sir.
If you're up 41-0 at halftime, you probably shouldn't have been playing that team, okay? Because you cannot get good work off a team that you're beating 41-0. You don't get to work your fundamentals. You don't get to learn where you're best at. You don't get to learn your weaknesses. That's why I always prefer for us to open with a solid opponent where we can learn what we need to work on moving forward. It does no good to open with a cupcake.
Okay. Well, Marvin, go take that to Saban and Greg Byrne because they said they want more home and home stuff.
Ooh.
So this is what we had to work with.
Coach Moot challenging you, Marvin. Marvin, you wrong on this one, bro.
Wrong. Okay. So, all right. So let's see what happens in a few weeks moving forward if our offensive line gets exposed. Because, again, you play against a real defensive line in the beginning. You learn where you're weak at, and you get to work on those moving forward. I would always prefer to play a better opponent opening up than a lesser opponent, because playing a lesser opponent, you don't learn your weaknesses, and it gives you gives you confidence that you hadn't earned yet.
Smoke wants a call-in button, man. He really wants a call-in button, man. I mean, this is
okay. So I really am enjoying this, but we definitely got to talk about Texas. Any final thoughts, Stephen M. Smith? Keep it under 30 seconds because Marvin's going to interrupt. So, boom.
I mean, he didn't took it all. He didn't took it all. It's just jumping to Texas.
All right, real quick, players of the game. Who did you enjoy seeing the most? Who stood out?
The band. I'm picking the
Take
band.
that, Big Al. All right, Steven.
Moody and Bryce Young.
I'm going to go Moody in that trio of wide receivers, especially the youngster.
Talk to me in a month.
All right. Well, how about we talk to you this week? We got a lot of drama surrounding the game already. Texas is banned.
Mr. Knight is correct. Texas is overrated. That's why I say talk to me in a month. After we played them, we've played Arkansas, we've played Texas A&M. Talk to me in a month after we played some real opponents.
So basically, talk to you when Texas A&M rolls around.
Yeah, after we played Texas A&M and Arkansas, talk to me then, and I'll give you my. If they've earned it, I'll give it to you.
Stephen, before he gets off on another tangent, our guest has arrived. If you would, before Marvin loses it, introduce him.
Yes, we introduce a brother to the show, family to the show, two-time national champion to the show. The first title game He put 2 of them touchdowns on the head of Texas. And then he won the Doak Walker Award in 2011. And then he was a Heisman Trophy finalist in 2011. Probably can still put the cleats and the pants back on now and try to run through Marvin. But we got him in the building. Trent Richardson's here, baby.
Hey,
Welcome
when
in,
it
sir.
is. When it
Man,
is.
man,
Come
stop
on,
it.
Stuvo Super de Semana.
Marvin,
Yeah,
Marvin.
how did the Spanish get as the season wore on in Mexico, Trent?
Marvin,
Come on, Stuvo Super de Semana.
Marvin. No, and hell no. Stop that, man. Stop.
¿Qué
Leave me
estás
alone, man.
haciendo?
Listen, leave me alone, man. We ain't
¿Qué
doing that
estás
today.
haciendo?
Listen, look.
It
We
ain't
ain't
that I
doing
don't
that
want to
thing.
give. Hold on. Coach Smoke, it ain't smooth. It ain't that I don't want to give them credit. I want to see them make improvements. And Trent will agree with me. Do you make more improvements playing a lesser opponent or playing a solid opponent who's going to test you? Which one do you make the most improvement from playing?
Oh, you definitely make it on a solid opponent. I mean, because when you make it on the solid opponent, it lets you know like where it's gonna be your makes and your breaks at. When you play against a team like Utah State, you don't really know how to. It's almost like a scrimmage game, and
Yeah,
you don't really know where to put the pieces of the puzzle just yet because you haven't had the SEC battle. We ain't gonna really know what Bama is really about until we play an SEC team.
And that was my whole point. We can't go out here and get overexcited about beating Utah because we don't learn. You don't learn what the chinks are in your armor playing Utah because you're gonna get away with talent alone. Technique don't matter when you playing a team like that. You can get away with stuff like that.
And that's just like what you said, right? And I agree with you. And so with Georgia playing Oregon, do you count that as if, oh, that's a real challenge? And I don't count that as a real challenge for Georgia.
Overrated.
It's not. They were overrated going in.
Nothing about Oregon tested Georgia in any form or fashion.
Bo Nix gave him everything.
Exactly.
Literally everything.
Exactly.
Hey, at least Bo Nix is consistent. I mean, different uniform, different place to live. Same old Bo. He ain't changing no matter what.
Now I'll tell you a game where opponents learn something about themselves. Notre Dame, Ohio State. Those two teams learned something about themselves Saturday and what they need to improve. So moving forward, I wouldn't be surprised to see both of those teams a lot better than they were this Saturday.
You really think Notre Dame gonna get better?
I think Freeman learned what he needs to improve, and when they got shut out that second half, I think he's going to be smart enough as a coach to realize, hey, these are the areas I need to improve on. At least he knows where his team is deficient right now.
All right, I guess. Me personally, since we played against Notre Dame in 2012, the year after I left, I haven't been the same about Notre Dame mindset since we beat them in that championship game when Eddie ran all over them. Like I haven't quite really respected them since then. Then the next time we played them, we did the same thing to them. So Notre Dame got a bad taste in my mouth when it comes to football for me.
I'm not saying that they're going to win a championship, but what I'm saying is that first half against Ohio State, they shut down what was supposed to be one of the premier offenses in college football, and they held them to 10 points that first half.
They did.
They held them in check. So they learned enough about their team to know what they need to work on. Now, that second half, they ran out of gas because the defense was on the field too long and their offense was getting exposed by Ohio State. But they've learned enough to improve as a team moving forward to where they'll pose a threat to somebody.
I tell you what, I do like their new coach, and it might be the old coach for me. I just didn't like.
He just got whooped at LSU.
Yeah, I don't have the respect for him, man. Because when they played against us in that national championship game that first year, man, he was just like, we're just happy to be here. And for our players to be looking at them, I mean, it looked like we had some straight thugs out there. Like them other guys, like they was ready to go to school, ready to go to church.
Catholic school.
Listen, I see them. Listen, when I was in that tunnel and I was looking at them kids, right? And I was by Jerome Bettis. and me and Jerome Bettis was looking like Jerome was like, you know what, I'm gone.
How many shots did y'all have in the tunnel?
There you go.
How many shots did y'all have in the tunnel? Y'all
can't take him nowhere, Trent.
There you go. Now Jerome, he might have had some shots. I ain't had no shots. Every time I had a shot, I had another kid. So I don't do no shots. I don't drink. So.
No, es mi problema.
No.
Back to that.
No tequila. No. yeah, man.
This turned to this Texas game. Of course, when the main focus is going to be in the trenches, I think that's where the battle is going to be won and lost. Texas last year against the run ranked 113 out of 130 teams in the country. Don't really have much to gauge them on against Louisiana Monroe, but you got to think nothing is drastically improved. Trent, coming from a running back, man, what do you need to see our backs do in this game?
I got to see the offensive coordinator get the backs the ball. Like, we got to see that. Because if you can't run a ball, especially in the SEC, but if you can't run a ball, man, you're not going to be a championship caliber type team. And right now, I haven't seen no run game for much.
Can I ask you one question, Trent?
Here we go.
Did it not look like that run game was struggling to you on Saturday?
It did, man. And I'm going to tell you like this, though. And our run game, when we played Georgia State, I think it was Georgia State or Georgia Southern, first game of the season, my last year in school, I looked at my stats, right? I had like 58 or 68 yards with 3 touchdowns, but Eddie had like 90-something. Now I'm saying it wasn't that much, but it to me was like, okay, I know I need to improve. I know I need to get on on the same path of my offensive line. Like, okay, what we need to do to adjust to this. And we had a new offensive coordinator too. Like, we
Trent,
didn't have.
Tell the truth, Trent.
No, we had McCoy.
You had too many fajitas the night before. You were just bloated. Them carbs. Come on, tell the truth, man.
Might have been. No, I'm just saying.
Like
week 1 and week 2, that's when you make your best improvements, though. Right. Because we all know week 1 is going to be a lot of mistakes, and I don't care who you playing. Week 1 is going to show you like, hey, this is what we need to work on. No matter who we playing, this is what we need to work on. I get what both of y'all were saying on that, but you still got to get challenged by a real team. And so hopefully Texas give us a challenge, and I don't think it's going to be, but I love Stark, man. Stark is he's a great offense coordinator. I haven't seen him as a head coach just yet to see what he can prove, but it take a year or two to, get underneath your belt from what I've been underneath, with the dynasty that we have built over there. So I'm trying to see what it's going to really take for this team to get off, and get to a good start.
But you agree with my point though. Until you play a real team, you don't really see where you're deficient.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that, man. I remember my freshman year, right? We played Virginia Tech. Yeah. And I got in a little bit. Then we played I think it was FIU or somebody like that.
Oh yeah,
And I had a great game. And I was wondering like why the seniors wasn't like, okay, this kid can play. They wasn't saying that yet. And they was like, well, we'll see when you play against Arkansas. And that was the first game. We'll see when you play an SEC game. And I went off that game too. And so, and I earned their respect because, it was real SEC football. And so for us in the SEC, man, I get it. Like, you're not going to get no test until you play in the SEC.
That's my whole point because, again, I don't even remember the running backs my first game against Vandy, but that was a cakewalk. A few weeks later, I'm tackling Jamal Lewis, Travis Henry, Deuce McAllister. That's a completely different animal.
Yeah. Especially Jamal, man. Deuce McAllister. Shoot. Yes, dog.
Deuce.
Yeah, so that little Vanderbilt and Houston situation, that was a walk in the park. You go tackling them boys every play for 4 quarters. It's a completely different ball game.
Now tell me this, was you making a tackle or was you putting a contract? Like, did you have a contract with them? Like, hey.
Man, I was in the hole causing all types of ruckus, baby. Make no mistake about it. Everybody on the team with me knew. Just get out the way because he coming.
Everybody knew that.
Everybody.
So yeah. Trent, Trent, for you though, like in the championship game against Texas, what was that atmosphere like at the Rose Bowl? You touching down on there as a freshman, knowing that, man, I'm gonna make some folks cry today.
Man, for me, man, and I remember standing next to Jerry Kirkpatrick, because both of us was freshmen. We was actually probably 3 of the freshmen that was playing. Nico Johnson played that year too. That was actually playing that year, and Dre Kirkpatrick was my roommate, so I'm standing next to Dre. I was like, bro, this is where it's at right here. Like, if football had a football, if heaven had a football field, like the Rose Bowl is where it's at. Like, I don't think y'all seen like the first half. I don't know if it's the first half or the first quarter. Like, I guess when they had smoke all on the field, like, this was a crowd.
Oh yeah, I saw that
on the field. And like, bro, it felt like we was right there in the skies, like playing in the skies, like for real. And so, man, like that game there, bro, like people don't realize to me, like for me, I don't never mention the Ole Miss run. That Texas run is my favorite run when I bust through the hole.
Oh yeah.
That was the first. That's my favorite run, and I wanted to go to Texas my whole life. So watching Vince Young, watching Ricky Williams, watching Earl Campbell,
Yeah.
watching those guys, man. That was my favorite school growing up. Playing NCAA, getting Vince Young, being able to run past everybody. Then you could throw him at wide receiver sometime because he's 6'5", and so that was my team, and they didn't recruit me. And it was, for me, that came in at the last minute. And so for me, I was just like, I was in heaven beating the team that I wanted to go to my whole life. And they tried to come in at the last minute. I was like, man, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to stay in my commitment. And so for me, man, that Texas game, bro, if heaven had a field, it definitely had to be the Rose Bowl.
Well, y'all made me proud that day.
To piggyback off of that, obviously y'all had a distinct advantage offensive line wise over their defensive front. What did you see in film that week leading up to the game that told you we about to wreck these guys?
Oh man, we knew it. We it wasn't nothing to sugarcoat it, man. Like our mindset, like Rolando had us so turned, and so and Nick had us so on a rampage to where we not getting embarrassed. This is our game. No matter what.
Dramatic pause.
The Telemundo signal kicked in over there.
Knew what it was like. Man, there you go. Can y'all hear me?
You froze, man.
You froze. And Marvin had to put some content out there, so we got.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. ¿Cuál es tu? Yeah, come on, y'all give us something. ¿Qué estás haciendo? Necesito un nuevo asiento.
This man is crazy, man.
Trent was a great thing that you went to Mexico, but then again, it's the curse because Marvin's never going to stop this.
Hey, Marvin, you go down there for 4 months. I'm going to leave you out there, okay? Remember, don't drink the water.
Listen.
Don't shower with your mouth open, okay?
Listen, Trent, I got you some help, man. Your former teammate is here.
Muy odioso.
Mike McCoy, please help Trent out because Marvin has lost his damn mind.
About what? I'm catching
Mikey Mike! Money Mike McCoy!
Man? What's happening, fellas?
What up, Mike?
Hey, man, just
Mississippi
working. Hey, you know how we do, third coast representative.
Y'all got your water working down there yet?
Nah, man, they trying to gentrify Jackson, man. Yeah, that's a tough situation, man. They need to get Bud out there, man.
So they diverted all the water around Mississippi back over to Louisiana.
Well, man, what they trying to do, it's been an issue for years, man. All my brother's stores are out there, so it's tough, man. The fact that you got a governor that's telling you, hey, man, hold your breath when you get in the shower. Are we cussing on this show?
Yes.
Hey, Mike.
What kind of shit is that?
Hey, Mike, can I ask you something, Mike? Mike, can I ask you for your honest opinion on something, Mike?
What's up?
$8 million sent to Ukraine. How much was sent to Jackson?
Come on,
actually,
man.
some money's been sent to Jackson. What did the city officials do with it?
Hey, man, all I'm gonna tell you, and this ain't trying to.
Oh, they cut him off.
They cut him off.
Oh, he gave too much. He gave too much.
Big brother's watching.
You talking too much.
Hold on.
Hey, Mike, they cut. Hey, Mike, they cut you off. You talking too much.
They
Mike,
did.
They
know I'm about. They know I'm about to go there. All I'm gonna
Tate
tell
Reeves
you,
cut you off, bro.
like I tell people all the time, if you study history, people who are darker, they suffer the most. And when you are a predominantly African American community, you're gonna get the short end of the stick. Call it what you want. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So, but I know I ain't called to be no Debbie Downer. So, but we can. If y'all want a history lesson, I give them out every day now.
We like that. We like that.
He definitely do.
Right.
Listen, he's not lying about that. He definitely give out history lessons when you walk into that gym. Every time I walk in there, I think about my life all over again. I'm like, damn.
That's right.
He'll do that. That's a spiritual gift.
So, Mike, when Trent came to work out, did he finish the workout?
You talking about when he first got there or when?
How bad did he die?
Believe it or not, man, Trent will tell you, before Trent got back in the league, I called Trent for almost a year straight. And some odd day, I remember where I was standing. This boy answered the phone because I felt like I tell anybody, I felt like, man, this boy still can play, man. Nobody knows the capability that he has. I think, and even in the weight room, I still have to teach Trent. This goes to him and guys like Blake. Strong as they are, I still have to coach them up. I'm like, bro, do you not realize what you are capable of doing? You doing this shit wrong and you still getting it up. Oh my God. You know,
that country strong.
That's country strong. But when he first got in there, man, I made Trent sign a form. We signed a form that you ain't gonna miss no workouts, you ain't gonna be late. I don't do no excuses. Because if he showed up late, I'm leaving. I don't play that shit, man. Time is money.
So how many times did you leave?
Here we go.
Huh?
Listen, no, he right. Listen, he right, man. And I tell you like this, man. And I love the fact that he did that, man, because that pushed me to be better. You know, with timing, with how I handle business, how I handle everything. And so for my sons to see that, like Mike got one right now, man, out of TJ. Like TJ probably gonna be the best thing walking, and when he get to high school, he gonna be the number one recruited player in the nation. When he gets to college, he's gonna be the number one player coming out. And I say that now, and I say that in football and probably in basketball too. And Mike can tell you the same thing. And then he got a little brother, my youngest son is gonna be right after him. I feel like my youngest son is gonna be better than him. And that's not the brag, but I'm just telling you, man, those kids work hard, man. They push each other too.
And 247 Sports is writing notes down right now.
Say that again?
I said 247 Sports is getting your phone number. I'm about to call you right now.
About to call me? Oh, snap. I've been cussing too much. My bad, man. I try to be politically correct. That's why I asked, y'all
listen.
We holding down?
We good. We keep it down.
Mike, on this, you do not have to be politically correct on this.
That's why people like to watch the show, sir.
Well, shit, talk to me. Let me get in on the conversation.
Well, let's get back to the Texas game. One of the people we need to watch out on the defensive side of the ball for Texas kind of has a Will Anderson type ability. That's DeMarvion Overshown, lethal linebacker. He's that dude. Probably the best player on the defense, if not the Big 12, and a guy to watch across the nation. What do we have to do to limit him? Who wants to take that first?
Something we didn't do much of last week.
Man, I mean, really, bro. For me, when we got guys like that, like when we played them, Mike, they had a guy called what was his name? Scenario. What was his name? Was it Scenario? Was the linebacker?
I think it was Scenario Hillman, wasn't it? When it's Scenario Hillman?
Yeah, I think it was him. Yeah. And when
they had a couple guys. They had Earl Thomas out there too.
They had Earl Thomas, Big Acho out there, and for me, like we went right at them guys. Like we didn't bag down at all. Like we didn't shave either one of those guys. Like I remember Earl coming to me after the game and told me I chipped his tooth on that first play when I ran the ball. And so like even with that, like because they were supposed to win the game. They was all this and all that, and they came back to the Rose Bowl, which was theirs, and this and that. And man, we was like, bro, we don't care who in this game. We could have been playing. Tell y'all something, man. We the real South, man. Them boys, they own little town, little country or whatever. It's Texas, they big, but man, ain't no real dogs coming out of Texas, man. Ain't about to worry about it. They got oil money. That's about it.
So what you saying is because they were part of the Louisiana Purchase, they don't matter.
That's it. Say it one more time. They got what? You said Louisiana Purchase, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
So they're technically French citizens, is what you're saying.
That and they part of Mexico where Trent was playing at, man.
Hey, Mike, please don't say Mexico no more, man. This man swear he from Mexico, man. Hey, Marvin, swear he a Mexican, man. Come on, man.
Hey, I'm finna start calling. Hey, Marvin is he's a controversial guy. We're gonna call him Messy Marvin. That's what we're gonna call him. Messy
man,
Marvin.
listen, I'm telling you, Marvin have been in prison before.
Okay.
Marvin have been in prison before.
Hey, Marvin gonna play devil's advocate. Even if he agree with you, he gonna make you think about your question.
I agree with you on that.
Hey, which is why he should have been a defense attorney.
That's hey, I can't argue with you on that one.
Nah, couldn't do that. They work too long of hours.
All right. Oh, you
All
get
right.
that IT money. My bad. I got
Wide receiver question, Mike. You saw that what we did this past Saturday. You and I talked about it at length. Look at this Texas secondary. They're suspect at best. Jaron Thompson is probably the only guy that really has experience, and he's decent. But you're looking at Ryan Watts, who has no game experience, transfer from Ohio State. After seeing what you saw Saturday night, what does this wide receiver group do to this secondary?
Hey man, as long as we got pass protection, there ain't no telling what they can do. You got all Ferraris and Lambos on the outside, man. That's all you got. You got Ferraris and Lambos on the outside. Long as they don't hold the ball, long as he can, and they are scared of Bryce. Now that he's proven that he's a proven runner, and he get outside the pocket, you can't stack the box like they want to. They're gonna pick these boys apart. I wouldn't be surprised if he throw 4 or 5 again this week.
Mike, what was the first thing you said they got to do? What?
Say that again.
What was the first thing you said they have to do? What?
Shit, protect.
Yeah, that's first and foremost. If you don't protect, man,
That's what I've been saying all week.
If you don't protect, bro, you in trouble. I don't care who at your running back position. I don't care who at your quarterback position. You can have a Michael Vick back there, and I'm telling you, he gonna get bent up. Like it don't matter who you got back there. If they not protecting your quarterback, if they can't get that ball off, and you can't run that ball, you're not gonna win that game.
And that's why I prefer playing real opponents week 1, so that you can figure this stuff out early rather than later.
Well, one thing about playing week 1, right? Opponents, right? When we play real teams. Well, when they say we play real teams, I hate it for those real teams because once we win, it kind of break their will. Like they don't be the same team that they come into the preseason. Like they're gonna be all hell this and all hell that. They don't be the same team.
No, es mi problema.
You just can't help it. Hey, you bring up a very good point. If you watch Texas last year, when they're playing head to head, they're in the game. They are probably one of the most competitive teams in the country. But when things start to go wrong, they start to crumble, and they just kind of check out. So, how important is it for us to jump on them immediately?
Well, the same thing can be said for us too now.
Really? Please explain, sir.
I mean, you saw
Mike
what
speaking
happened
my
with,
language. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, just even when we play Georgia, man, just the morale, man. You see guys on the sideline, they not into it, man. When you are part of a winning culture and all you do is win, you don't know adversity. So I do agree with Marvin whenever he talk about we need to play a tough team. But Coach Saban is a businessman. Understand? Hey, man, this is a new generation of kid. I got to tell these boys how good of a job they're doing. I got to pat them on their back. And look, we will be ready. In his mind, I'm preparing for Georgia. He's thinking long term. That's why even during the summertime, even the springtime, there's a period where you practice against teams that you're worried about. So it's a business move.
Gotcha. Real quick, Jake Slack, gotta give you a shout out. $4.99 in the super chat. Marcus Stanley.
What, he bought a pack of Newports?
hey, another $5 from Marcus Stanley, baby.
That's it.
You
That's
might
it.
win this 4 for 4 around here.
All
right. Running back question. Trent, I'm going to turn it back to you. A lot of focus is being put on Bijan Robinson. We know he's that dude. If you would, tell me what you like about him, but tell me why Jace McClellan is going to have a better game than him.
I like both of them backs, man. But I think they're putting a lot on that kid right now, man. And for me, I don't think it's fair because at the end of the day, he haven't got a chance to play SEC football yet. I mean, we know it's one thing to be, at practice and practicing against the twos or the threes or going against the threes at, the University of Alabama. You got all the ones that's, beating up against the threes and the freshmen. But when you're playing in the real game in the SEC, that can be kind of trouble, especially when you're that main focus. Like I tell people all the time, it's different being a starter and being a second string guy. They're not practicing against a second string guy.
But I think that kid's going to have a great career at Alabama, and I think he's going to do a great number.
with your second, I don't want to say second screen running back, with your other guy over there that's right beside him. I think he's going to have a big game because people are not going to focus on him as much. And I think Jason's going to have a great day out the backfield, too. Like, a lot of people don't realize how good his hands is.
Good answer. Marvin, we are coming close towards the end, but I do have to ask this question, being a former linebacker. One of our problems in the past have been big athletic tight ends, and Texas has one of those. Jatavian Sanders, Mackey Award candidate, a guy that reminds you of Kyle Pitts if you watch him play. What do we need to do to make sure this guy does not get out of control?
Hit him in the ribs the first play, neutralize him, break him down, get him a couple cheap shots in on him. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. When we played Florida, they had Aaron Kenny. Aaron Kenny was like 6'7", 6'8", about 285. Oh, I took some shots on him when he was blocking, neutralized him, broke him down. He ain't catch no passes against him. Sometimes you got to hit him where it hurt, break him down. You don't. Gotta do what you gotta do.
My dog said neutralize. What kind of Marine training you done had?
I think there's a lot about Marvin we don't know about, especially his time in prison in Juarez.
Hey, man, Coach Rousey, neutralize him. Do what you got to do. So I did what I had to do. Man, listen, you hit him a few good times and then loosen him up. He going to be looking for you. It's hard to run that route.
Marvin was one of those guys.
You don't know where yet.
Marvin, I can tell you was one of them guys that under power. You was pitching nuts. You was biting. You was bending back fingers and everything underneath the power. I hated playing against guys like you.
Yeah, he'll probably drink a 211 for a game and go out there and be fine.
He had an old Four Loco on the sideline. He had a Four Loco out there.
Yeah.
Hey, Marvin, when I played, how
Trent,
you live, baby.
Trent, he sound like Psycho Rod, don't he?
Yeah, I'm about to say sound like Psycho Rod.
Yeah. Like
Rod Woodson.
I guarantee you, he probably wear white beaters all day long. That's all he wear right now.
Back then, yep.
With a do
nothing much has changed.
Woodson, man.
Mike, don't believe that. He's still doing that. Look at his Instagram.
Hey, I believe it.
Hey, man, you do what you got to do to get done what you got to get done.
Nah, real talk. What they gonna have to do is bracket buddy. You can't have him one-on-one because I don't trust that secondary. So you're gonna have to bracket a guy like that, man, and play man on the other side.
Hey.
And then to your point, Mike, when you're talking bracket, when you're passing that tight end off, I'll be 1,000% honest with you, man. I don't trust Toa if it turns into a situation where they got to banjo that thing and Toa has a covering up that seam. I don't trust it.
If it's a foot race, like you saying, if he don't carry down the middle of that seam, it's gonna be a long night for us. I ain't gonna even lie to you.
Long night.
It's gonna be a long night in their secondary. If you want to beat Alabama, I ain't gonna lie to you. Isolate a couple of their players.
Yeah.
You want to isolate them.
And tell me this, like, do y'all see a linebacker right now on Alabama team that can really cover?
Nah.
We cover what? That. A bed with a blanket?
No, they can't cover a bed with a blanket.
I'm with you on that. And see, that's the difference that we had, man. Like, we had some big guys that can actually run and that would love to get up in your face, bro. Like,
you know the difference, Trent? They all played basketball. Every last one of us played two sport. We were 2 and 3 sport athletes. These boys they're one tunnel. They're track minded. If I got to pick you up all the way on a hardwood court, all 50, how many feet it is, the whole court, and you mean to tell me I can't stay with somebody with some pads on? That's a real problem, man.
But you know what? I'm going to tell y'all the realest thing that's missing back from when y'all played and from when I played. If those slot receivers, tight ends, and running backs don't have feel to run across that middle, they're going to run free all day. It's a different ball game when them boys they wonder where them killers at.
All right.
Because they only going to take them shots so many times, but I ain't going back across that middle.
All right. And when we went one-on-one, every day we was NFL practice. Rolando and Dante in the middle. Come on, bro. Come on, man.
What TJ tell you? My teammates tell you the same thing. It wasn't no let up in practice. Better be looking.
I remember at my freshman year, bro, I almost fought every day. Oh God, you guys can run now. My freshman year, bro, I fought every day. I was a
Listen,
Christian
I'm glad
thug.
Mike on the phone, y'all, and Mike know I'm finna tell this story.
Oh,
My
this-
freshman
Here
year,
we
do
go.
it. Do it. All
my
right, let's sit back and
freshman
listen to
year,
this.
Mike was about to fight his coach. He was about to
Oh,
fight his
Lord.
receiver coach. So Coach Williams,
No,
he's called
no.
Coach Anger Man.
Oh, you talking about Signetti or you talking about Cole
Yeah, I'm
Williams?
talking about Cincinnati.
Oh, it's
So, so Cincinnati say it was something they were going back and forth about a route, and Cincinnati said, "Oh, dumbass," like that underneath his breath. And so Coach Williams say, "Damn, dog, you gonna let him say that?" And my coach over there, Coach Burns, say, "Oh man, you a punk mother, you gonna let him talk about you like that?" Mike say, "He say what?" Mike say, "Hey, Cincinnati, I tell you what, you take I'm gonna take my shoulder pads off. You meet me around Jackson, you beat me, I'm gonna give your processing man." I said, "This man, he is crazy." So listen, after all that, he'll come to you after all that and come pray with you after that. I'll say, "Man, this man is crazy."
Say he was punching and praying.
Yeah, man, he was a church
Hey,
gangster, man. I promise you.
Church
Man.
gangster, I like that.
I'm a real Gemini. That's all it is, man. I'm gonna love you. Hey, we gonna fight, but I'm gonna love you afterwards, man.
Hey, Trent said he gonna shoot you and then pray over it.
Hey,
I promise.
Lay hands.
oh, they know. Hey, these twins right here. Oh, I'm gonna get down now. That's one thing about it. I don't bother nobody, but I'm about my business now. Hey man, don't tag me in cause my wife would be on me talking and say I'm talking too much, man, cause I'm thinking pull up to the house.
All right. Real
See, I
quick.
feel like we in the locker room right now. This is tell them Trent, they need to come to Maximum Performance, aka
Hey, y'all
the
need to come
warehouse.
to the maximum performance, man, and it goes down in there, man.
Hey,
You got to
all
come in
we
there.
do-
You gonna have to work.
That's it. And then we'll sit down and we'll tell all the jokes afterwards. But yeah, we have a good time now. Oh, Trent didn't tell you. Hold on. You remember when Mark Ingram and Fluke had a dance off? Did you tell them that story?
Oh
No.
man, I told you. Man, DJ. So it was on our official visit. So Mark took DJ Fluke apart. He died. And when that happened,
Oh, they pop locking out in the parking lot.
Yeah, they pop locking. So Mark take DJ Fluke apart. He died, and he pop lock with it, bring it back, all this other stuff. He swallow it, throws it back up, take his heart, and let it beat for a minute, and put it back in DJ's chest. And he comes alive some type of way, and he get the pop locking and all this other stuff, and he just go at it with him. And this was when Crunk Dancing and Stump the Yard was around. So Chris Brown was real heavy at this time, y'all. So.
And we trying to get ready to go see some girls, and these boys out here pop locking. Man,
I'm talking about sweating bullets. It's December. I'm talking about sweating bullets.
Delta and AKA parties going on, and we out here. These boys having a dance off. If y'all don't get
they out there pop lock, DJ out there pop locking in them size 22s, he probably kicked several of y'all.
I'm talking about that boy real light on his feet.
Hey, Trent, this gonna have to be off air. Tell them we're gonna tell them about when Fluka and whatchamacallit got into a Bowman.
Ooh. Oh, to my bow.
Oh Lord.
Quiet as is kept. I remember that.
Lord. Yeah, oh Lord. Oh, when Ro, hey, you remember when Ro had to run them 110s and T King?
Bro, when Ro and Chris Rogers got into it when T came.
That's what I'm saying.
Not see money, man. Not see.
Oh my God, bro. We got some stories.
Hey, Chris Rogers held his own though. I get to him. He held his own that day.
I spent a lot of time there in 2009, so.
He probably instigated a lot of things too. Before we head in predictions, one of the last things I saw in the chat was talking about how our secondary is going to get tested. We do actually have some dudes we got to be looking at on that Texas offense.
Hey man,
Mr.
I got another appointment, so I got to get out of here, man. So, but I just want to tell y'all thank you, man, and I'm gonna see you boys, man. Y'all some great guys, man.
Take care.
Great work y'all doing.
All right, Marvin.
Night.
Hey,
all right, fellas.
Hey, Marvin, we're gonna have to fix you with that boy word.
I said y'all some great guys doing great work. You missed that part?
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you miss that part?
Oh, two type of boys.
Y'all boys later.
Go on, Marvin.
That boy stuff.
Well, I mean, you know that's just a common saying. Then I followed up with y'all are some great guys doing some great work. Boca Grande.
I knew that. I knew he was going to do
I
that.
knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I knew it.
All right, man. Y'all be safe.
Hey, Marvin,
right.
Marvin, before you get off the phone now, ask Trent to borrow some money. That boy money long as a limbo now. He getting to it now.
Oh, I can believe
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
I can
he
believe
got
it.
now.
Me see no Englo.
No habla inglés.
Yeah, whatever that
Sí,
means.
señor.
See.
All right, man. Y'all be safe.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
Now, what I was going to say, man, our second day will be tested by Xavier Worthy and possibly Ajay Hall. I think if Ajay Hall is going to have his mind together of all games, it's going to be this one. Anything after that, who the hell knows? But what do we have to be concerned about with these two guys?
Man, I think they really gonna go with Jaha real hard, man. They're gonna put some brackets on him because he comes from that Bama nation, man. And you know they're gonna want revenge on him. And they're gonna let him know that, hey, you shouldn't have left. You should be right here with us.
I got you, Mike.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, anytime I don't think kids are bad. I think they're misunderstood. I feel like it's a root cause. I hope the little man, I hope he gets it. I'm pulling for him. I hope he has a campaign or a come out party. You know what I'm saying? So I got different views on it. And like what people fail to realize is every school ain't for every kid.
Yeah.
And
that's right.
And that's why I'm a coach that I needed, because I originally went to Alabama for Coach Harp and Coach Cheese. You know what I'm saying? So when he left, and then 4 years, you got 3 offensive coordinators, and you got to resell yourself every year. That's a lot on the kid, man. And we don't know his living situation. You don't know how this kid was brought up. And when you don't have a lot of coaches that are going to empathize with you, oh, he's just bad, I'm going to write him off. Hold on, man. Did you try to talk with the kid? He left for some reason. There's a reason behind it all. He didn't just leave because I ain't getting playing time. That was a small token of it. Because if you're unhappy, man, you can't play fast. When you got a coach that really don't believe in you, or you've been told that you are a cancer to the team, or you've been told, hey, man, you're lazy, or this and that, or you're entitled, it's a root cause behind it. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, at the end of the day, I hope he have a hell of a season and a hell of a game. I mean, I would love it, because you want to see a guy. I'm rooting for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they're gonna get the short end of the stick because it's Texas.
There you go. We'll take it.
And that's what I mean. I mean the same thing you said, but I just don't think that this is gonna be the game he have his coming out for. I want that kid to do good, man, because trust me, I've been in that situation where like I felt like, you know, like, dang, like, why am I here? Like, you know, I've been in that situation, but I definitely feel like because he's at Texas, he's not going to have to, like, if he would have went to Georgia, I feel like he would have an amazing game. Like, because it's more guys that you got to pay attention to. Like, him at Texas, like, they're going to bracket him because he's at Texas, and we already know that, hey, that's going to be one of the number one spots that they're going to try to go to.
Where's he originally from?
Florida.
South Florida.
So you got to think too. It's a lot of stuff. I don't know. I don't know these coaches' background, but y'all got to understand when, like me and Trent, we talking about Signetti. Signetti told us in the receiver room. Now I'm from up north. I ain't never been around black people for real. So when you got a room for African American boys, young men, and you don't know how to communicate,
right?
And he just glad to be there. You know
what
I'm saying?
It is.
You know, that's a tough sale. So, and as a player, bro, come on, man. In this type of offense, bro, you would have had 5 receivers with almost 1,000 yards at Bama back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, without a question.
Man, just size. I mean, DJ Hall, Keith Brown, McAdale. You had me, Will Oakley. After they left, me, Julio, Mays, Darius Hanks, Nikita Stover. Like, bro, what? You had nothing but NASCARs. Kevin Norwood was waiting to get in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Kenny Bell was waiting to drop.
Right.
Exactly.
Imagine Kenny Bell in this offense. Jeez.
You feel me? So, and that's what gets misconstrued. Bama running back room ain't been the same since they let Coach Burns leave.
Yeah,
that is
not
the crazy thing.
You right on that.
Not only that, think about when you let Coach Williams leave. You gotta be crazy letting these two walk out of there. Those guys, and then you add a Mel Tucker to the mix, or you add a Loxley to that offense, bro. Come on, man, you crazy. But
I'm right there with you.
I ain't gonna lie though. Like what Mel Tucker did with that secondary in 1 year, I thought he was gonna take it. Like what Mel did in 1 year with that secondary turned that whole group around.
Hey, y'all, this ain't a funny moment, y'all. But I'm laughing at one of our teammates. We had a teammate that ran away from school at one time.
Wait, what?
What?
Luther Davis ran away from school.
oh, boy. Hey, man. I forgot
Wait,
all
what?
about that, man.
Oh,
What did-
what?
Where did D. Luther go?
Oh, man.
Hey,
Man.
I gotta jump on. Hey, I love y'all. I gotta jump on this phone call at 7:15. I had forgot. I lost track of time.
That's all right. Give us a
All right,
score real quick.
Appreciate it,
All
Mike.
right, y'all hold it down. Bet.
All right.
Trent, what the world?
Man, listen, we got some guys, man. We had some crazy guys, bro, and done some crazy stuff.
The man ran away from school. Hey,
I gotta hear that sometime, but listen.
Look. I ain't gonna lie though. That would be something I would pull though. That would be some stuff I'd pull though. I
believe that. Well, listen, guys, we gotta close up shop, but before we go, we need predictions. We need scores. Let's go ahead and do it. Trent, I'll swing it over to you real quick. What do you see the final score being, and can you give me a player of the game?
Player of the game, I had to go with Bryce Young, and I had to say we 42-6.
All right, I'll take it. Stephen M. Smith, who you got?
Player of the game, give me Jace McClellan, homecoming for him down there in Texas. Final score here, give me 52-10.
Ooh, I like that. All right.
I like it.
That's what's up. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jace McClellan myself, 45-17. All right, guys, great show. Trent, appreciate you as always, brother. Roll Tide.
Yes, sir. Let me know anytime, y'all. Roll Tide.
Absolutely.